besides being able to just kind of free-form write these notes in here, you could be, you can make them uniform to, if there's a certain, I happen to notice that 0.5144 is semitone. When you divide at a little more than 51%, you get a note and it's sharp on the other side. So whatever you've got over here, then you get the next note. And that's why just end up knowing that sort of thing. We'll go back down to, let's say, something more controllable, 4 notes. And so that you can sort of get the idea. You can increase the division points in a linear fashion, just a simple numerical addition, and you can turn this up, and it's hard to see. The notes are, there they go, responding pretty quickly. And you can do it logarithmically, which usually leads to more musical results. So here, again, we're adjusting the dividers and the way that we divide the strings. Over here, we're adjusting the tuning of the strings overall, and you can do the same thing. You notice I have the log 1.250 over here. That happens to be very close to like a 12-tone scale. So if I set this back to 0.514 and the log is 0.1250, it's kind of close. Not exactly. Close. Over here, we have the octaves in general and the output. So the typical multiplier to get an octave is 2, but we can change that if we want, which is very, very useful if you're trying to emulate a stringed instrument where you know one string is a certain amount over the next one. Then you can have your strings represent frets, and you can have your octaves represent strings. That's for the experts among you already. Down here, this is just a color thing, so I can change the color of my notes. I made this one red so that you could see it better today, but I could also make it, you know, brilliant yellow, and maybe that would be more eye-catching, I don't know. I'm going to keep it red for now, because I think the red stands out pretty well. Okay, so, and you can change all the notes, and you can change all the octaves. So that's this bank here, how to deal with your octaves. Oh, over here is how do we sort them. Right now, no sort. And that's good if you're trying to tune individual strings. I can always go down here and look. I can say, oh, look, B and the C are the red notes. Whoops. Sorry. Very easy. I can see that E and F are the red notes. And I can tune them accordingly. Oh, I want that to sound like something else. Right? Once you do that, you may find that your notes don't ascend as you go from the bottom of the scale up across the top. So we'll just quick play scale. It's very moody and intriguing, but the scale doesn't go upwards, and that may alarm people, so we can sort to the keys, and it remembers what string they came from and what octave they are here. But now they're all sorted ascending, so now when we play our scale, all ascending. Sometimes you like to keep this group of strings, this original group of strings together. Again, if you're emulating another instrument, a string instrument, you might want to have the octaves represent the strings and the strings in this case, the dividers of the strings represent the divisions on the fret. This would be a two-bodied instrument with a neck in the middle. I know you all have one. I do. And in that case, you can divide it ascending, but keeping the packs together, and that's Hertz octaves. And it didn't redeploy these because all of these are inside. They all ascend naturally. But if we put one, oops, that's why. If we put one way out of range, you'll see it suddenly starts creeping around. So if you were tuning this one, and you found your green notes. Oh, look, that's D and G. Or actually, let me get the one in the same octave. And then you tune it a little more. Whoops! You'll notice that this one's no longer green. It was green a second ago. There, it's back. But if I make this a little bit higher, green slips down. It's perfectly obvious why it does it, which is that note's gotten higher and now displaces the other note, so it gets resorted in here. Great, so now we've got a tuning that at least I like, and I can save it over here as I've saved a number of tunings, and in a couple minutes Loretta's going to be coming and playing. I'm not such a great musician, but we can play any music that we happen to like through this using a MIDI player down here, and so we'll just see what a composition sounds like with this tuning. I can save my favorite tunings up here. So much more Indian sounding. A little more random sounding. Hard to classify sounding. So that's it. And we've made a scale, we've tuned our scale, and we're ready to go on exploring.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. That is an example. I should apologize to Beethoven when I sometimes. We can just go now between our favorite tunings and see how they sound. Kind of like that. The very last one. So that's it. We've made a bunch of scales and played them, and got to hear Beethoven's version of them.
Thanks.